We live in a world where people feel like it's okay to sit back and study somebody else's life and harass them nonstop and to a point where they provoke them intentionally and that person goes off. And I used to didn't understand how that was even possible until I've been experiencing this for the past few years with some of the most toxic neighbors that lived across the hall from me. They violated my privacy in the worst way. Then when I spoke up, it made me look even more crazy because I was describing the things that I was actually going through, and yet they were going around telling people it was the other way around. This is what I've been dealing with nonstop, and not only me, but so many other people are dealing with this shit. And it's not often spoke up about because people feel like nobody hears them, because when they do speak up, most people think they done lost their mind. And that's what the people want them to think. They have this thing, it's called gang stalking and family mobbing, where they use people, they recruit people in order to help them carry out a main cause, which is to target a person, for being too confident or too sure of themselves, as the baby daddy put it, because you're strong. They don't know the things that you actually been through, so they sit up and flip a narrative in order to fit the stories that they've told people. And then when you go off, it falls right into that. And then people tell you, oh, well, just let it go. You just let them get your man. No. It's like a mental torment where they harass you nonstop. They sit in the shadows and do things, and they use other people to help them do it. And then when you speak up, it looks like, oh, you done lost your shit. And I used to hear stories like this, and I'd be like, damn, people really going through this? Never thinking that one day I would be that person, the person that's always protected people from the bullies. Now there are bullies in the shadows harassing me, and I speak up about it. And I've never been that person to really get online and speak on a lot of things that I go through. And then some things that I do go through, I do speak up about. And people gonna doubt you either way it go. But the saddest thing is when you're going through it, and you feel like nobody's listening but God. And they steady win. It feel like they steady winning, but they're not winning. Anybody that has to sit back and study your life and harass you nonstop and try to target you is not a winner. And that's not a good thing. So speak up and speak out about that, because that shit is not good. That is sick. And it is an obsession, especially when it's bad enough when it's people you know, but it's even worse when it's people you don't even know that sit up and target you in order to make a name for themselves. And they use other people to speak bad on your name in order to feel like a winner, in order to get people on their team.